Americans donated $450 billion in 2019, of which over 75% were from individual donors. That's actually incredible. But there are also 1.6 million nonprofits just in the United States alone. We are inundated with so much information. It's the landscape of charitable giving is so complex, it's daunting. So much information coming at you in all directions. People are interested in figuring out ways to give. I think there's a movement, there's a momentum right now than ever before where people are asking questions. How can they do things differently? How can they give differently? Where do I even start?
Giving Compass is a one-stop shop for individual donors to learn about issues, get involved, and give to organizations. Giving Compass was inspired by Jeff and Tricia Rakes, co-founders of the Rakes Foundation. Early in their own giving journey, they met other donors who faced a similar challenge, finding targeted resources to guide a values-aligned, community-inclusive, and effective giving strategy. We know donors face challenges from too much information to misinformation. Donors no longer have to spend time searching all over the internet for answers, or wondering if the information or the organization they find is credible. We're adamant about reviewing and posting trusted information, and we're using technology to connect donors to vetted organizations. Giving Compass makes it easier to give money in ways that will make the most difference while guiding donors toward better giving behaviors. Giving Compass has it all in one place: learning resources, ways to give, and events to connect with others.
A lot of what we've heard with COVID and the move for Black Lives over the summer is how do we recover? How do we bounce back? And that implies that we're bouncing back to what we were doing before, but that wasn't working. We know that the exacerbated outcomes that we're seeing now, a lot of the communities that are experiencing those were already not doing well in our society because of the systems that it basically disenfranchise them. And so when we think about reimagination and restructuring, at Giving Compass, we're really focused on pulling communities that are experiencing inequities to the forefront, paying them and allowing them to narrate their own solutions. So really pulling Black, Indigenous, people of color, queer and trans communities to the forefront to narrate solutions at the table and restructuring systems in society so that they work for everyone.
Because we have in-house technology and philanthropy expertise coupled with strong nonprofit partnerships, we can connect donors quickly to the right information and giving opportunities during a major event or crisis. Throughout the pandemic, we've sourced and vetted giving opportunities that donors can trust. And in response to the movement for Black Lives protests and ongoing calls for racial justice, we've helped guide donors toward resources to learn, get involved, and give.
We know that 85% of donors want to see more impact with their donations, want to see more impact with their philanthropy, but we also know only less than 4% of giving actually is targeted and distributed to Black and Latinx communities and led organizations. And the problem with that is we know that inequity exists along the lines of race, place, class, and gender all the time. The intersections are endless. And so if we want to create an impact, we have to think really intentionally about shifting and redistributing our funds and our approach to those communities who are experiencing the inequity to narrate their own solutions.
When Giving Compass was launched in 2017, it was very clear that there was this demand for this type of information for a platform like Giving Compass. We saw our user base grow exponentially year after year. People were hungry to find information and find a place where they felt confident that what they were reading and what they were seeing were vetted and they were valid.
Our article library is refreshed daily and features expert voices across popular issues so you can gain valuable insight into your favorite cause. Our team reviews every piece of content to ensure it is credible, aligns with our values, and helps you learn more and take action. When you're ready to give, we've got you covered. We're not like other giving platforms that feature endless lists of organizations to choose from. We carefully select and vet the nonprofits you see on Giving Compass to ensure they are working toward a more just world and centering communities most affected by systemic inequities.
When we think about equity, we're really focused on the redistribution of resources and opportunity to those who've systemically been without those opportunities in the past and who live on the margins of society. When we think about effectiveness, we're thinking about a continuous feedback mechanism that ensures that we are including the lived expertise and experience of those who are experiencing inequity. We're looking at data, we're looking at accountability mechanisms of philanthropy to community instead of the other way around. We really want to think really intentionally about effectiveness being, is a community being served that's supposed to be served versus is the foundation or the individual donor getting the information that they think that they deserve for making that donation. With systems change, we're really focused on institutional systemic inequity. We're thinking about how do we take apart the root cause of an issue to actually create a long-term solution versus a Band-Aid in the short term.
So with the recent events in 2020, I definitely did a step back and look and reevaluated how I want to give in the future and what causes I want to support. And I want to reach further. I want to dig deeper. And so I feel Giving Compass has given me these resources.
Prior to my time at Giving Compass, I would describe my giving as being very erratic. I would give when solicited by nonprofits. I would give, of course, during disasters. I would give when persuaded by my friends and family. But even during those times, my giving was inconsistent. They always felt hurried, last minute, fire and forget, and you just move on. Fast forward to now, especially with my time at Giving Compass, I've been enlightened. I've been exposed to this world of philanthropy. And to be quite honest, I've always felt like that was out of reach for someone like me. And, I've learned that there's this broad spectrum of efforts, incredible efforts, ranging from direct services, which most people know and understand. But even going further, there's this whole notion of supporting nonprofits in their capacity building. And I'm like, what is that? And just realizing that, it's about investing in the people, the staff, so that they can be better leaders, so that they can have infrastructure, so they can actually go out into the field and do their work. All the way to systems change. Well, what's that? Well, it was just so amazing for me to realize that there are opportunities to support movements and organizations that are focused on addressing root causes of issues, really going up the funnel.
I am the Director of Philanthropy at Brighton Jones, which means I work with both my colleagues and our clients around their giving. And so I will work with somebody who has never volunteered and never donated a dime. And I will work with somebody who is spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in donations in the nonprofit sector. And what I love is that Giving Compass is useful for that entire range of donor. And so if somebody is just starting out and wants to explore what's going on in Seattle or what's going on in Baltimore and how can I get involved, the site can give them that information. If a donor is really passionate about education and wants to do a deep dive into education, they will find resources for doing so on the site. I also think that in philanthropy, there's a growing awareness that donors spend too much time talking to people within their own networks. And so you talk to people that you went to college with or that you go to work with, and they're very much in your demographic. And so you don't always learn about nonprofits in different regions led by people of color who are worth funding, but they just don't have access to as a donor. So I think Giving Compass is great as a tool for donors to diversify their networks and for organizations to be able to reach out to new sources of donations.
What we're doing at Giving Compass is really trying to leverage technology to bridge those who have systemic opportunity and have accumulated wealth with communities at the grassroots level doing the work and leading their own solutions. And so we're able to think about connecting donors to queer communities that are working on health equity and health opportunities, with Indigenous communities focused on environmental justice, Black and Latinx communities that are focused on educational initiatives and early childhood education. We're really trying to uplift and become a platform and a megaphone for communities doing the work to interested and curious donors that are aligned to our values, thinking about equity, effectiveness, systems change, and transparency in giving.
Being a subscriber has been wonderful. The emails I get, the articles, the events they highlight has given me so much information. I feel so much more educated and well informed about issues that are going on, just not in my community, throughout the country. And I think it's time that we step up and do something more. And I want to be a part of that. Now I have a bridge to all these different organizations that I didn't know existed. Like, I have a passion, but I kept it close. And I now want to reach further, make that bridge to other communities, to children that I will never meet. And that's okay. Because if they all rise up, we all rise up.
We've built partnerships with trusted organizations to help you connect to experts who can help you on your giving journey. Our collections feature incredible donor stories, giving advice from longtime experts and perspectives from BIPOC-led organizations. Your giving journey doesn't end after you write the check or click the donate button. We regularly curate events to help donors continue to learn and engage with others who share their passion. Giving Compass provides frameworks for popular issue areas so donors can dive deeper into their favorite cause, whether it's education, healthcare, or the environment. Our topic guides are the launchpad to help you learn, get involved, and give. These specially curated resources include deep dives into an issue, while also featuring giving opportunities. We prioritize BIPOC and LGBTQIA-led organizations who are closest to the issues and solutions, and connect donors to them. We believe this is one of the best ways toward long-term change. Everything included in these guides has been reviewed and vetted.
So one of the things I love most about Giving Compass is their newsletter, which comes to my inbox every Friday at noon, and I look forward to it. And it's probably the only newsletter I read top to bottom every week, because the information without fail is very timely, very actionable, and very meaningful in terms of the depth of information it's providing. I think the tech platform helps philanthropists learn about programs that they wouldn't otherwise learn about. I think when you dive into the information that Giving Compass gives you on different regions, on different funds, and you read articles written by nonprofit leaders that give their firsthand experience of what it's like to work on the issues they're working on, you as a donor are getting information that you wouldn't get naturally from your networks. And I also think it gives nonprofit organizations a chance to have the ears of donors that they wouldn't otherwise connect with. And while there's a lot of talk about the need to do that, I know from talking to my clients that there aren't a lot of ways to actually do that. So there's a lot of people hearing, diversify your network, diversify your network. And people want to do it, but they don't know how. And I think Giving Compass gives us a way of doing that.
Giving Compass is the platform for everybody. It's accessible for anybody.
Giving Compass is committed to helping busy donors like you. We're building tools that will help donors find their focus, plan and track their giving, and take action. We're building a community of impact givers. Join us and become a catalyst for change.